Hey guys, so welcome, me and Luke here. We're going to talk about the launch week, and the best way me and Luke thought we could do this was that we're just going to ask each other a bunch of questions and sort of just answer them for you as honestly as we can, because launch week, a lot of things can happen, but there's a few things that we do which are quite precise to make sure that it goes as smooth as it can, right? So we've got a bunch of questions. I'll start with asking Luke the first one, we'll go vice versa. Luke, do you have any launch rituals?
My one launch ritual that I've learnt to make a ritual, which initially wasn't, was definitely getting some sleep before the actual launch. So the first few launches that I've done, because I'm on a completely different time zone over here in Australia, I was just scared. I wasn't having fun. I was all on edge, and I realized that if I need to relax before a launch, which is why we talked throughout this course how important it is to have everything ready way before launch, because otherwise you're just in a frantic rush. So my launch ritual, I guess, really is to get some sleep before the actual launch. Again, being on a different time zone here, but I guess making sure everything's ready at least a week before you actually launch, so you can focus that last week at least to really just push the JVs, get everyone really excited, and you should be having fun as well with your launch rather than being freaking out and trying to run around like a headless chicken. But that's probably what I do over here in Australia. What about you, man?
So I'm quite like, because I'm in the UK, and we normally launch roughly, we go through this in the course, about 11 a.m. Eastern, right? So luckily for me, I'm 4 hours ahead. So I 100% always have got sleep in the night before. And I tend to wake up about 6 a.m. my time. So a whole 10 hours before we launch normally. So that's all right for me. So what I tend to do is always make sure that I have food in the house. Right? Because there's nothing worse than having to leave the house or something for at least 12 minutes and get stuck in traffic. Because it has happened to me before. And you're rushing back, trying to get back to the house or the office, wherever you are. So what I try and do is make sure the night before I do stock up on anything I need, particularly like food-wise, drink-wise, and just relax and just trust in yourself that everything that you've done is ready and right. Obviously, there'd be loads of file checks, make sure you've updated your server, or make sure everything's, the sales page is ready to go live and the buy buttons are done right. I tend to test my funnel every morning. For about 3 days running up to the launch, make sure nothing's broken, and obviously on the day of launch. And that's pretty much what I do. That's about it.
I think on that point as well, with being, even though it sounds really simple, making sure you have food in the house, even though once you launch, it's normally, you want it to be just like a sailing ship, everything's fine. But if you leave the house, or if you leave the computer, or you go out, something will always happen, or at least for me anyway. A server might crash, a JV might not have their affiliate links that wants to jump on and promote right away. And if you're not behind the computer, or even just there to be able to do these things, you're going to be losing money, because you want to be there to act on the JVs, whatever they need straight away. If the server goes down, you're going to want to call the hosting company right away. Hopefully these things never happen, but they do. It happened to me with my first launch. I wasn't prepared server-wise. I didn't think I was going to get that much traffic. But server crashed and it was a nightmare, and I had people calling me from everywhere. And if I wasn't in the house to fix it right away, I would have been losing thousands and thousands of dollars. And I probably did lose a lot of money because it went down. But so having food in the house is such an important thing, because you don't want to be leaving your computer, especially during launch week. You put so much effort into it beforehand, and you don't want it to come apart at the last minute.
Yeah, I think that's key, because I know everyone says you can run your life on your phone. Trust me, I have fat fingers. It is impossible to reply to everyone and stuff, especially when stuff happens. But I think the main thing is for me is that you are prepared, not just launch wise, but like that you don't have to leave the house. Even if you go and sit on the couch and there's nothing much going on, just make sure that you're close to the laptop and that you're in communication with it. That's really important.
Yeah, exactly right. We'll jump into question 2. So what are 3 things that you have on your desk during launch week?
3 things I have on my desk during launch week: pen and paper, 100%, because you're always writing stuff down, writing names, JV, people asking for stuff. It's better than, because what will happen is you'll have about 1,000 tabs open on your computer anyway. So I tend to have the important stuff written on paper, so it's a glance and I can cross things out and things like that. The third stuff, I always tend to have a headpiece on my mic, just in case I need to communicate with someone, ring someone. And one thing I always do have, it's sort of not on my desk, but it's on my laptop, is I always have Skype credit during launch week, just in case. Like you said, you have to ring the hosting company, you have to ring someone from the US, or, you know, like I've had times where, then we've had customers come in and they need, something, like they need something and you can ring a certain thing up. So I always have Skype credit. It's all done from your computer then. You're not using your phone to fucking ring across the country or anything. You've just got you've got your Skype and it's all done then. It's all nice and cheap. So I'd probably put about $10 on there and that covers me for the week. So it's not expensive.
It's good to have safeguard after safeguard, because if something's going to go wrong, it will go wrong in launch week. So I guess it's a learning thing as well, but hopefully in this course we've covered all these different areas where things can go wrong. So it's lucky you got us here to do that. We made the mistake so you don't have to, right?
Yeah.
But for me, 3 things I always have on my launch, not on my launch desk, on my desk. I always have water. Like I have that many water bottles around here. In launch week, I swear I'm a camel. And that's why Australia always goes into water restrictions, because it's me just drinking so much water here. So definitely lots of water. I have a whiteboard. That's probably my key thing. So I have a whiteboard, and every day I'll it's just a small one. I think it was $10 or something from the local $2 store. Strange how it's $10 at a $2 store. But I'd write down the checklist of what I would need to do every single day. And as you'll see in this course, that there's every single day of launch, there's key things you're going to want to do. So as we mentioned, how during the middle of launch, things might dip a little bit down. So what you need to do on that specific day to get the sales going back up, to add more scarcity, get the fence sitters off the fence. And every single day I'll have those there with the checklist. I have a checklist that'll say leaderboard, follow up leaderboards every day with the affiliates. What I need to do for scarcity for that day, what benefits I'm going to push those days for the affiliates. So I have a whiteboard there, and I think writing things down, as everyone's probably heard, writing things down, you really think about it a lot more, you absorb it a lot more, and when you can wipe it off the whiteboard, you feel like you really accomplished something, and it's a good feeling to do that. So, and you feel a lot more organized as well. So I have water, whiteboard, and I don't really even have that many other things on my desk. I sometimes have my phone, I guess, and because launch week, hopefully it's going to be pretty crazy for you, so you can even have the TV remote there if you want, but as long as you, again, with the laptop there in front of you in case anything does happen and you need to act really fast. And I think the thing with acting fast as well, for the affiliates especially, they're going to see that you really care about the affiliate, and if you can respond to them fast, get them what they need right away, they're going to promote you in the future because they know that you've looked after them this time. So I think they're the main points I take away from that one there.
Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, it's about getting the stuff over to the affiliate as soon as you can.
Yeah,
that's cool. So let me jump into the third question. What's the first thing you do when you wake up on launch day? So it's probably the answer's probably different to us, really.
Yeah.
Go on, you start with that, because obviously, as you said, it's a different times when you sort of just don't really wake up.
Yeah, so me and Sai were joking before this call about this, because in Australia, it's probably the worst time to launch a product here, because obviously most launches are either at 9 a.m. Eastern or 11 a.m. Eastern, purely because that's the time where the most of the world is up at some point in the world. Australia, not so much. It's about 11 o'clock to 2 a.m. in the morning are those time frames there. So it's a bit of a messy thing. So the first thing I do when I wake up is probably try to go back to sleep, so I can get ready to be up all night for that launch night. Because again, if things are going to go wrong as well, it's going to be within the first 6 to 12 hours, I'd say, of launch. That's when the most problems will arise, if any problems arise at all, whether it be server traffic, whether it be links logins not working, or anything that might happen. That's a time that's going to happen there. So but I think if I was on a normal time zone, I would definitely wake up, know I have everything prepared, have my checklist there of what I need to accomplish that day, make sure my emails are ready to go out, to my affiliates to let them know that it's the early bird special might start in 3 hours, 6 hours, whatever it might be. And just be happy and excited for it, because launches are meant to be fun. You don't want to be scared for it. You want to trust in yourself, and you want to have fun with it because you put so much work into it. Make sure you're just ready and be calm and have a good day with it rather than freaking out, which I know I did in my first few launches, that's for sure.
Yeah, man, I bet. I think we've all been there.
Yeah.
For me, the first thing I actually do is I wake up, I sit up in bed, and the first thing I do, I go into JVZoo and I approve all the affiliates pretty much straight away from my bed on my phone. I've done numerous launches, and the main thing for me is that I find that a lot of the affiliates won't request links until 24 hours, 12 hours before the launch. It's like one of the last things they do for some reason. It's just, don't know why, because it's probably the last thing you have to plug into your email is the link. So that's the first thing I tend to do, that is wake up, approve all the affiliates, and then I always do my checklist the night before. I think probably Luke, you're the same as well. So you're ready for the next day, and then just get up and just get to the office and just go and speak to your affiliates. That's what I tend to do, just literally go out and speak to your affiliates. Just, even if they haven't contacted you, ask if they need anything, and things like that. I think that's pretty much what I do all day then, up until the launch. Obviously, I test the funnel and stuff, but I just literally just chat to affiliates, make sure they're all happy, make sure that, all the support gateways are open and working, test all that, and that's pretty much it. And just, as like you said, just enjoy the day. Don't get frantic, don't get hectic, and just, just enjoy it, because, it's not like you're doing this every week, So it's important that you do enjoy it, and that that you learn from the experiences, and anything that you learn that you write down to come back to after you finished.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good point, because every launch that I've ever done, every time I learn something new that I'll do for the next one, and if I can write down those points, it's a good way to improve for your next launches, because no launch is ever going to be perfect. There's always ways to improve certain things. I haven't met one person that says I've done a perfect launch, because everyone's always learned something. Things will happen. You'll learn things. You'll say, next time I'll do this better. And it's a developing thing, I guess. So yeah, good point with writing it down. But we'll move on to the next question. What's the first thing you do when you go live? So it's 5 minutes until launch, or half an hour before launch. What do you do in that period before and as soon as you go live?
There's two things I do. First of all, I email the JVs that the launch is live, or it's about to go live in X amount of time. And what I do, I create a tracking sheet. Basically, in the tracking sheet, I put the headings, the time, which is normally 11 a.m. Eastern, and then I put the traffic, sales, conversion, and EPC, and I do that every 15 minutes then. For the first 4 hours. And what it does, and that helps me then next time I launch to know what I'm on track for. Because JVZoo doesn't give you like time, or WarriorPress don't give you time specific stats. Yeah. Obviously they give you day ones. For me, you know how the launch is going by what you've done before, and if you need to tweak anything or things like that within the first 2 hours. So I tend to track all that. And you can see if anything dips or increases during that, and that's pretty much what I do when I go live, and that's just start tracking the numbers. Yeah, and I've seen you with some previous launches as well, where you've had to change things within the first couple of hours because things might not have gone the way that we envisioned, and you fix it right away. And I'm sure that's because you've had a look at this and you've known, all right, well, we're not going to hit this target, so let's try adding this in, or changing this, or doing this for the customer. And I've seen you do that. So that's something I actually have never done before in terms of time. So that's a good point that I'll definitely pick up for sure. Yeah, because I've got about, I think it's 32 sheets out of 32 launches I've done. And and like, you can look like, okay, they're similar numbers to what I launched at launch 16. And then you can look back, because obviously I've written down what I did during the day. If it's like change sales page, or, or the server crashed then, or let me go and double check the server, or I didn't send this affiliate email out to notify people they've gone live. There's loads of little things that you're like, right, okay, and the numbers will reflect, the past numbers will, future numbers that you do today will reflect the past and what you did then that you might have forgotten, but hopefully you don't make the same mistake twice. Yeah, definitely. Awesome. What I do,
The one thing I think about when I do a launch, the first thing I do when I go live is I make it go live probably about 20 minutes before I actually tell all the affiliates that the product's going live. So say it's going live at 11 o'clock, I'll open the cart maybe at 11:15 or 11:20, purely because people might schedule their autoresponder just a few minutes before launch, or you want to capture traffic, all the traffic you can get, and people are going to send emails out, and they might have set it just to be a bit earlier, just so they wait for the customer to open their email. So if I send it at 11, the customer's not going to open the email at 11, but some people might. So if they set their email to go out at 10:30, they click on the link at 11:15 and the cart's not open, you're going to lose a customer. So I often open the cart maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes before the actual official launch time to get those extra sales through.
I'm the same. Yeah, I'm the same, definitely. So that sort of brings us, like, obviously what I was talking about the numbers before, brings into our next question. Like, for me, what are the key factors that let you know your launch is going well or not within the first sort of day?
For me, I'll start with this one then. The first thing I know if a launch is going well on the first day is I obviously have a look at the stats, see how well it is converting. And I'll even just ask the affiliates, like, look, what do you like about it? What can I do more for you? Is this funnel the way you like? I like asking people what they think as well, because that's how you're going to get the best feedback for it. You've been so absorbed in your own launch that you've looked at every single side of things, every single piece of copy, everything is you. It's good to get an outside view, I think, from someone else, especially your affiliates, who are the guys who have been promoting thousands of products. They know what works and doesn't work. And you can even really create a really strong bond with your affiliates that way. When you're asking them a question, and if you can fix things for them, that's going to make them convert better. It's a win-win for everyone. But I definitely look at the converting numbers. Right now, at the stage where I know what I want to achieve and what milestones I want to hit. But if I was starting out, a big thing would be seeing what my affiliates actually think and what they would recommend to improve, I guess.
Yeah, I think mine's obviously the same. Like, I know not everyone watching this will have past figures. So regardless of the figures, like exactly what Luke said, go and speak to your affiliates, see how they're looking, how their conversion, how they're driving traffic. Because you will have affiliates who are converting at like through the roof, 30, 40%. You'll have others who are converting like 8, 9, 7, even lower. Go and speak to them and see how they're driving traffic. Some people are driving it to a bonus page with top conversions. Some people might be using PPC traffic. So, like, if they're using PPC traffic, which is sort of, for me, which is cold traffic, and it's converting at 8%, well, that's great. You know, you might be looking at thinking, oh, that ain't good. Like, he's at 40. It all depends on traffic methods, but you only find out all this if you speak to your affiliates, you know? Yeah. So it's really important that you do go and speak to your affiliates, and that'll give you the real sort of number, how well you're doing, is that how happy those guys are, and what and if they're going to be taking action to be promoting it further down the line, like, and they're the big key factors for me, is that how happy the affiliates are. Obviously, you know, the sales and that coming through, the conversion rates, they're obviously the straight factor straight away. But asking your affiliates, you know, like, what, you know, were you expecting to convert at this much, or if they're like, no, well, not really, but it's really good, so I'm happy, then you know that, you know, your sales page is working fine, the traffic's coming, it's great, so you're on a good track, you know. But yeah, it's the whole thing of relationships again, going out there and just speaking to each other.
And I think also the first day really is going to reflect about how the rest of your launch is going to go as well. Obviously, like, I don't know, I think it's probably the same for you, Si, but on my side of things, that the first day and the last day are definitely the best days in sales for me. So I can normally gauge how much my product's going to do from the first day and a half, because that's going to be the best day, and then I can estimate where around about it's going to end up. So say the first day you made $10,000, the last day you might make $10,000, and then during the launch week where sales do dip a bit, and that's just completely natural, you can estimate where it might end up. So if you make $10,000 on the first day, you might make a $30,000 to $50,000 product or something like that. Yeah.
So like with the launch, what obviously probably Luke best describes it, like, you sort of get, normal launches, man, like a W. So obviously the first day they spike, and then they drop probably second day, midweek. Like, obviously there's stuff in the training that how we generate a little bit more support midweek, you know, a couple more incentives. You might offer a bonus, like if it's a price hike midweek, you'll get this bit of spike the last like 8 hours of the price hike, and then obviously last day when the offer's coming down, or there's a big price hike that you'll get a thing, and that will sort of really give you the explanation of, you know, after the end of launch, how well it's gone. That if you have that W shape, then you're doing all, you know, you're doing really well. If you can get a straight line right at the top, then that's fantastic. But you know, if you get that, then let me know how it goes.
Yeah, we'll get you on this show.
Yeah, definitely. Go on, we'll go on to the next question, because this is talking about conversions. So as probably Luke's banged on about in the sales page stuff, and Bill has, and myself, that conversions are what we're looking at really. You know, it doesn't matter how much traffic you really get. If your conversions are high, that's how you'll be able to use the leverage to go out and get more affiliates, more people drive traffic towards your offer. So if your conversions aren't where you want them to be, Luke, what is the next stage for you? What you know, obviously, you know, you have to act quickly, because obviously you know that there's been more traffic coming, more people mailing out. What do you tend to do? Because I know you write a lot of sales copy yourself. I tend to outsource mine. You know, what type of strategies you take on that?
Yeah, well, this actually happened with the first launch I ever did. And I was being coached by some of the best guys in the business on everything in terms of sales copy, how to do videos, how to get a good product. And this came into play where it wasn't converting as well as I wanted it to convert. And I was freaking out and stuff. And the advice I got told to do was, they said, go back over everything you've done, especially your sales copy, because at the end of the day, it's going to be your sales copy and your sales video that's the reason that it's not converting. So that's the only reason why something won't convert, is if you haven't made it appealing enough, if you haven't made the benefit for them to buy greater than the benefit of them not to buy. So you need to make it a risk for them not to buy. And the way to do that is really go over your sales copy and make sure you're pushing the benefits of what it is your offering is going to do for the end user. No one cares about the feature. I know I bang on about that in a lot of the videos I've done. No one cares about features of things. Well, like if I told you I have a great Facebook software that's going to post pictures on your Facebook wall for the next year, and you're not going to need to worry about content again, that sounds all right. Like it sounds, oh yeah, that's kind of a cool tool. But if I said to you, I've got this new software that's going to make you 6 figures, and you're going to have to hit 3 buttons, it's going to monetize your Facebook page, and you're going to be making money in just a few hours from this one software. It's the exact same software, but that sounds way more appealing, and that's way more of a benefit of what you can offer the customer then and there. So what I do, I go over my sales copy and make sure I've got the key benefits, not features, the key benefits highlighted throughout the whole sales copy. Make sure they stand out, make sure it's easy to see. And I'll tweak the wording, because even with the headlines, I know I won't go into that too much here, but sometimes the weirdest headlines are going to be the highest converting ones, because everyone's seen the standard make money online tomorrow, make $1,000 in the next 10 minutes. Like everyone's seen those. But the ones that I found that convert the strange ones, like have a look at this Harry Potter trick that does the weirdest thing to your sales page and it's going to make you X amount. People go, what the hell is that all about? I've never seen that before. I'm going to keep watching this for a bit more. You know, it's a bit strange. Don't use that one, obviously, of course, but think a bit outside of the box. So that's what I normally do if things aren't converting as well. Another quick thing I like to do is if I can throw in an extra bonus or an extra module or something extra to really help add some more value to what it is I'm currently doing. So if you can stack the value higher, make it a risk for them not to buy, make it so valuable that they're going to miss out, push the scarcity. That's what I normally do.
Yeah. I think that's what I tend to do, is push the scarcity straight away, and obviously just basically what you said, like outweigh the risk of them, you know, not buying it far greater than the risk of them, you know, like me, or wherever way around it is. But like they have to feel that if they do leave that page, that they've done themselves a disservice and not buying the product. Do you mean?
And that's where, just touching on refunds as well. Heaps of people are scared to put a refund guarantee on their sales page because they think that refunds might come pouring in, and they don't. Even though, like refunds are a scary thing, you don't want to get all this money and think you might lose it. It's not going to happen if you have a solid product, and you want to make it known to the customer that they can get a refund, so it's no risk to try it. In terms of launch week, I don't normally push that refund option until the very final day in terms of getting affiliates to email out about it, because you don't want them to buy purely on the fact they can get a refund. But on the final day, that's when I'll get them to nail in, look, you can get a refund on this. It's risk-free. That's how confident they are you're going to love it. It's a no-brainer to pick up. And then that's when I push the refund there.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. So, like, obviously, you know, we talk about how launches don't go smoothly all the time. So what do you have sort of in place as backups, like when you launch? So pages, servers, like members areas, like obviously, I think I've only ever had one launch where like server went down. Well, it wasn't the server went down. I tell you what, actually what happened was the biggest internet providers in America actually got hacked, and no one in America that could actually access internet for 32 minutes. And believe it or not, for the whole 32 minutes, I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what broke. We'd gone through everything, searched everything. Everything looked fine because we were in the UK on our side, but US affiliates couldn't access the site. We were ringing our server company. They said everything was fine on their site. And then finally something happened on CNN News, which I always have on my desktop, that the two biggest internet providers in the US actually got hacked, and they had to stop providing internet to a million people. So, and this all happened like literally the day, 11 o'clock we launched Eastern, it was down for 32 minutes, like 30 more 2 minutes. So it was a bit of a bizarre one, but we had loads of stuff back. You know, we had all the pages backed up on different servers, on different URLs. Obviously, we had the servers, you know, like obviously run the server company. We obviously increase it as high as we could. And also what we did, we had all the thank you pages and members areas set up on a different members platform. And obviously all those were in place, and it still didn't matter because the whole internet provider in the US went down. Obviously, we still having sales. That's what we couldn't believe. We still having sales, but so many people couldn't access it, and we had support tickets. You know, like on my Facebook from affiliates who were using obviously like 3G on their phone to contact me. But obviously, I didn't know they were doing that. It was crazy. It was crazy. But like, Luke, what type of stuff do you have backed up?
So for me, the key things that I'll make sure I have in place is making sure it's hosted with a solid hosting company. You actually provided, you told me there was Liquid Web, there's the one to go for. And ever since going with Liquid Web, they're amazing. They have under 60-second support. And the great thing is you can actually, if you're in launch week, you can actually drag your server to the top of the range server for that launch week and then drag it back down and put all your information back on a way cheaper server after launch week is over. And yeah, it might cost $100 for the week to have it on that, probably even less than that. But to have $50, $60 for the launch week to have it on a really high quality dedicated server for the launch week. But as soon as it's over and your traffic's slowing down, you can bring it back down to a way more affordable level. And they do the whole migration for you. With most hostings though, they'll let you upgrade, but they won't let you downgrade. If you want to downgrade it, you may as well be playing Where's Wally without Wally in the picture, because you'll never do it. It's just too hard to do. So that's one thing I definitely do is that. Also, if it's a software that I'm launching, I make sure my development team, as I showed you guys and how to get a product made through the outsourcing teams, making sure you have them live on Skype when you're actually launching a product. Because the thing is, you can get as many people as you want to test a product, but there's still going to be things that people will use in a specific way or use in a different way, or something might not work, or it might crash, or someone might find something out that's not right. And you need people, your support team, to act on it right away. And touching on that point, if something does go wrong, don't freak out, because if you can fix a problem fast and you let them know you're onto it right away and you follow up with them with the fix, they're going to be a much more trusting customer to you than if that actual mistake didn't happen at all, which we obviously don't want mistakes to happen. But if something does happen, if you follow up with them one-on-one on a personal level, so look, I'm sorry about this, we're onto it, we're going to get it fixed for you right away, don't stress, just give us X amount of time and you get it fixed, they're going to be a loyal customer to you for even longer, because they've had that interaction with you, you fix whatever has gone wrong, and it's done. I think that's a massive thing that I found with one of my software launches.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I think just key, just be prepared. I think that's the main message trying to get across, is be prepared and try and think of everything. We've covered everything in this course, but just make sure you can everything, and don't skive the cost. Like Luke said, like the Liquid Web, it's an extra $100. The chances are that could save you thousands. Like what happened?
Thousands, yeah.
Which is really important. So brings us to the next question. So we talked about the W effect with launches, because obviously affiliates drop, the traffic drops. What is your key sort of ingredient during the week to keep JB's mailing time after time? I'll start with this. So there's two things actually I do. I tend to have a midweek competition, which will try and generate more hits, a bit of incentive for the affiliates guys to mail again. And second of all, what I tend to do is I break down exactly what each affiliate has sent traffic-wise, how much money they've made, and how much EPCs that they've actually, how much, cost per click. Because what tends to happen, a lot of people are on each other's list, and basically, if they mail when others aren't, then that means the offer's only being shared to them, that one person, through your affiliate link. So I try and just give them the breakdown, show them exactly how much money they've made, tell them if they send the exact same amount of traffic again, chances are that their conversion will increase because they're the only one, there's less people mailing the offer during the midweek than there is at the start or at the end. And it's just keeping in contact with them and just really showing them the figures right in front of their face, and that has helped me loads to generate more sales with affiliates and keep them mailing time after time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yourself, Luke?
For me, I think I've learned a lot from you in terms of actually keeping the momentum up and making sure that affiliates do keep on promoting. And one thing that Simon actually taught me was a nice little way to keep people mailing every single day is, if the price does go up on your product, you then provide a coupon code for that for 12 hours or whatever for it to go back down to the day before price. So then that gives the affiliate an incentive to email out again with a value add, which is the coupon code, because it's all about affiliates providing value to the actual customer list. And if you can do it anyway, whether it be a coupon code, a discount, an extra bonus for them to mail out, it gives them an incentive to do it as well. Another thing I like to do on that note is I'll have a look at my top 10, 15 affiliates, and we've probably said it in other videos that probably about 70% or above of your sales will come from your top 10, 15 affiliates. And I'll see who they are, and I'll go ahead and I'll create them their own unique coupon code with their name. So that adds even more value. So I say, look, this is your Simon VIP or Simon Today Only. It could be a 5% code, it doesn't matter, but because it's a personalized name, I'll give that to Simon, and then I'll have Simon email his list saying, look, the price has gone up, but Luke is a really good friend of mine, and he's created this coupon code just for my followers here. It's Simon VIP. So then not only does that help with conversions, it builds trust with that affiliate's list because they're getting a personalized code there that they know it's not just a generic one that's come from anywhere else. So I found that really helps with your top affiliates as well.
Yeah. Cool.
Another thing I like to do in launch week as well is obviously adding an extra bonus about midway through the launch week. It could be a extra software or even just an extra training video or something like that. That's really going to push those fence sitters off the fence because there's people there that'll be like, oh, I might do this, I don't know if I should. But if you can add in an extra piece of content that you've already had prepared way before launch, but you have it ready for launch week, midweek, that's going to be a nice little bonus for them to actually jump in and get that actual extra bit of money midweek as well. So that's something that I like to do midweek as well. What else do I do? They're probably the two main key things that I like to push there. And obviously, that was what I'm going to say. Every day I'll mail my affiliates, obviously with the leaderboard to keep them competing with one another. So they don't get comfortable where they are on the leaderboard. Make them feel like even if the first place is far ahead, say, look, second place, you're really, really close. You can push this and you can definitely take this out if it's within reason. You want to keep them competing with each other for the cash prizes that you do give put up. And finally, the last thing I like to do is every day I'll mail my affiliates with key benefits to what every day they're going to be unique benefits to what my software does. So I say to my audience, to my affiliates, today, these are the key benefits I want you to push to the list. The following day, it might be the key negatives. So say, instead of saying the key benefits, it can be like, look, are you really prepared to not get this and have to do it this way manually for the rest of your life? And make them feel that real sickening feeling like, shit, I don't want to post content every single day ever again. That's just wasting my time. Or maybe I should pick this up. Make them feel guilty and make them feel sick, I guess, in a way. But if your product does do exactly what it is, you want to really play on those emotional triggers. Everyone buys through emotion at the end of the day. And if your product's solid, that's why I always say there's no point playing on emotional triggers if you don't have a solid product behind it. But if your product's solid, definitely play on those emotional triggers because it's going to benefit them in the long run as soon as they take that leap.
Definitely, man. I think like playing the affiliates off each other's a big part as well. They love to compete. They love the bragging rights. They're all friends. They beat each other, and that's definitely a big point. So obviously the launch going well. Your customers are coming in, Luke. How do you deal with support efficiently? I know a lot of people get worried about this and get overwhelmed in what they're going to do, and this does keep a lot of people busy during the launch. And so how do you deal with it effectively yourself?
And this is something that I've learned so much on with support. Support is so key. And the first thing I like to do always, I always like to have a Facebook group, which is going to be talking about the actual, whatever it is I'm launching, and have a team there and a place where everyone can go and talk to together. But I found when I started doing bigger and bigger launches, the actual excitement and the marketing side of these Facebook groups turned into a lot of support questions. And and then I was like, okay, I'll open up a Skype support and I'll have a live Skype support team. But then again, lots of people don't want Skype. So I found, obviously, there's a lot of support services out there, especially Zendesk, which can really help manage your support questions. You can hire a virtual assistant if it's a software or something like that, because it can get very overwhelming doing it yourself. But initially, for the first couple of launches I did it all myself. And I think it built a very good relationship with me and my audience. But obviously you want to be prepared before a launch to make sure that everything's going to go as smoothly as possible in terms of what support you might need. So you want to question it from a customer's point of view. If I was a customer, if I did this, would I need support? Where would I need support in this? And you want to answer those questions before they even get to that point. But I started off with Facebook groups. I started off with emails, with Skype, and now I just definitely use Zendesk because it's a really easy way to manage your support questions. What about you, Si?
Yeah, so obviously Zendesk, obviously there's a cost and stuff to it. So like before you sort of feel prepared to go over to Zendesk, the best thing what I did was I wrote up on a notepad. So obviously my support was an email support, right? Whatever it was, say AutoLaunchpro, like support AutoLaunchpro.com. It was an email system. I just logged into every day and just doing that. So what I did, I wrote a bunch of like questions that I was expecting to get alone, and then write the answer straight away. So you're not there individually writing the answers because you will have a lot of the same questions. I mean, it's the same questions over and over, especially when people are starting out. So you can literally just copy and paste, and that's fine. Then they expect an answer. They're not expecting whistles and little ponytails on every answer and a drawn picture on every answer that they get. And obviously, when you move over to Zendesk, you can create macros and stuff like that, which are basically the same. You create your copy and paste stuff over. And I think that's what really helped me was when I first launched, I was just doing email support and I was answering every question. And I think, I wish I copy and pasted that answer. Or I'd try and go back to the sentence, copy and paste it in. And so what I did, I just come up with a lot. And every time I answered a question, I would create a new, put it into the sheet. Every answer, a new one, every sheet. And literally, after the first day, every question that came in, I was just copy and pasting. And literally, support turned to 2 hours a day to 20 minutes a day. And that's what was really important for me, being prepared, having your sort of frequently asked questions and answers ready, and just blasted those out. But as Luke said, Facebook was amazing because what you tend to do is you build a community to help each other out and answer the questions for you. And Zendesk is on a different level, really, and there's other ones out there like Intercom that I've used and stuff, and they're really good as well. But yeah, just make sure you're prepared, have all the questions, Q&A sort of ready, prepared. Take yourself 2 or 3 hours before you launch, like a week before, to answer those out,
And have them in your members area as well. That's what I found, because as soon as you have frequently asked questions, you're going to see what the questions are that are asked over and over and over again. And if you have them in a support tab in your membership site, it's going to answer so many that people won't even need to email because they've got their answer already. So you'll see what they are and add them into your website as soon as you can, because it'll save you time for answering support, especially in launch week when you want to be focusing on affiliates only. But we'll move on to the last one. What do you love most about launch week, Simon?
It's sort of, you do work so hard to get these products done. It's probably the accomplishment feeling that, whatever happens, that you've actually built something that you believe in, you've launched it, you've generated customers, and people are learning from it. I love the fact that it's achieving that goal. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. It's the whole accomplishment feeling overall, and just delivering. That you've delivered this training, you've come up with this, you've tested it, you've tried to work. You work your butt off for it, and that you're finally now engaged and stuff. And what comes out of it is stronger relationships with affiliates. New customer relationships to build, new success stories. Obviously, you're starting to generate a business. And what normally happens, I find after launch week, that after I spoke to affiliates and spoke to customers, I've been speaking to people, the chances are you probably already have your idea for your next launch. I tend to get from my launch day, and that's probably what I love about it more than anything, is that I've just launched a product and it just sort of, you're drained, you're knackered, but then you launch week and it happens, and then you sort of feel all energized again, and it's all over, and you move on to the next one, And I think that's what launch weeks are for me. It's the end of the goal, and it feels like it's sort of that energy shot that you need after you've been working, you've been grafting so hard on everything, and you just sort of want to just get straight into the next one because you've got your ideas pumping. It sort of, re-energizes you. So that's what I love the most about the weeks,
It's kind of like when you stop drinking coffee for 3 or 4 days, you have the biggest headache ever, and then all of a sudden you feel like $1 million and you have so much energy and you don't know where it's come from, and you're just like, wow, this is so good.
Definitely, I couldn't agree more. What about yourself? What do you love most, Luke?
Man, I think honestly, I don't know. At the end of launch week, I love to see just so many happy people. There is obviously going to be some people that aren't going to love what you're doing, and that's totally cool. That's fine. But what I love is literally just seeing so many people that believe in what it is you're doing and trust you that you're doing, and it's really humbling just to actually see that and actually build one-on-one relationships with people. I try to get back to every single one of my customers and their friends. Everyone becomes a friend, and I hate the whole guru term that everyone uses, internet marketing gurus. And I think I've always wanted to ensure that I'm not going to be a guru. And same with you, it's not a guru status. We're all just friends. Again, like you said, as soon as you finish one launch, you'll meet a stack of new customers, and you'll hear their stories about what they want, what they're doing, what they might want next. And you think, well, that's true. Maybe I want that as well. Why don't I just build it? And that's the thing I think I want to get across to everyone. You can build anything you want. You can have any launch you want. If you just think about what it is you want to get done, and you can literally get it done. And if you follow the steps throughout this whole course, you're literally going to be on the best track to be able to do that. So don't doubt yourself. It's a fun time. It can be a stressful time, but I think it's going to be once you get to the end of launch week, I'm excited to hear from all you guys to see how you feel with all this energy, and you feel like you've been on a 4-week juice cleanse.
Yeah, I think that's the whole thing. I think you come in perfect. That is, just go out there, don't be scared. Every idea is a good idea, just go out there, you can build anything you want, but like Luke said previously, you just got to you've got to make sure that, they want to buy it, that the benefits of them buying it outweigh the benefits of not buying it, that they feel the service when they leave the page. I think at the end of this course, you guys can have more information than 90% of the marketers out there right now. The three of us combining up, you're really on a good, stepping stone on to get your launch successful and generate, the support and sort of, if you look at the products we launched, we probably have they're probably our friends from that. There's a lot of people I know that have come from products we've created in the past who are now our top friends or top affiliates and stuff. It's just people who take action will become successful, and that's where you've got to make sure that you really are striving, and you take the knockbacks and you keep moving forward. But you just go through the course. This course is yours now forever. The checklist and stuff. All we're giving you, it's the same stuff. The same principles that have been used for you. Obviously, marketing moves on, but it's the same principles. We always come back to basics at the end, and that's exactly what this course is. It gives you everything you need to become successful in launching products, So just get out there and take action. I think that's really important.
Yeah, and when we say take action, I think I think we all hear everyone say take action, take action. I think when I've been thinking about this recently is it's more about yes, take action, but believe in yourself, because I think everyone has self-doubt that it's going to be a big risk to leave my job. Yes, it's going to be a huge risk to leave your job. But don't think of it like that. Think of it look, I'm going to believe in myself. I have something I want to get done. I know I can do this. yes, take action, but take action believing in yourself that you're not going to fail and you're going to push through all the boundaries that you're going to get done. I think that's a nice little way to end this call. We're just finishing it up with make sure you believe in yourself, because seriously, if we can do it, literally anyone can do it, and everyone says that as well.
Yeah, definitely. You can do it, anyone. Definitely. But yeah, awesome. Thanks, Luke, for making time for this. What amazed me is how your window got darker and mine got lighter as the call went on.
I've got these brights on here, and I'm an angel in disguise as well, so it kind of happens when it hits nighttime. But yeah, we'll do another call like this probably soon as well. Hey, so stay tuned for that, and we'll speak to you guys soon.
Awesome. Take it easy, guys. Peace.
Give up.